Hello, my name is Noelle, and today we're going to be talking about the fundamentals of cheer. So, there are many basic aspects that we will be covering. We're going to start with proper hand motions. So I will be using stick figures to demonstrate, and so we're going to get started. So we're going to start with a high V. So you would start out in your formation and your arms go up as so. It's important that you keep your wrists straight. We like to refer to it as your little cinnamon roll. So this right here is going to be out, and you don't want bent wrists or this little cinnamon roll facing out. So it's important to have your arm like that, and you'll have your arm straight out and facing up. Next, we're going to have our low V. So here we are again, and your arms are down here. And once again, little cinnamon rolls, and you're going to be at a shoulder length distance, and you want your arms in front of you to where you can slightly see them out of the corner of your eyes. Next, we're going to have our punch. So your arm usually will be on your hip, and then the other arm goes straight up. This is hard to demonstrate, but right next to your face. It'll usually come right next to your ear and over. So just like this, just straight up. And this one, you will have your little cinnamon roll out. And whereas compared to these, it's the big cinnamon roll. So motions in cheer are really important. To be a good cheer team, you need to have strong and sharp motions. So when you do hit your motion, it needs to be very strong. My coach would tell me if she comes by and moves your arm, you should be unmovable. So that's how strongly you have to be with your motions. There are other motions, however, these are the basics. So we're going to move on to stunting, and I will show all of the positions and basic stunts. Okay, next I'm going to go over the positions for stunting. We're going to start with the obvious. We have the flyer. We have the bases. The back spot. And in some cases, the front spot. So, the flyer is the person who is going to go up into the air. So it's really important that the flyer has good motions because when you're flying, you will have to hit your high V's and sometimes punches. Sometimes they do motions in the air. So the flyer is very crucial in having good, strong motions and also being very strong with their body. For the bases, it's very important that these guys are strong because they are the ones that are on the sides lifting the flyer, holding their feet. So it is important that they do lift weights and work on their upper body strength. Also their leg strength, because a lot of the power that you have comes from your legs, whereas most people think it comes from your arms. In reality, it comes from your legs. The back squat also needs to have the primary leg strength and the arm strength. They are in the back of the stunt, lifting up ankles, and they are primarily there for support for the bases to take off any extra weight that they can to make the stunt go up quicker and stronger. And the front spot, also important to have the arm strength. If a stunt does need a front spot or the front spot switches out with the flyer, they need to have the arm strength to help the bases as well they usually hold onto the base's wrists or the flyer's shins. So we are going to talk about the basics of moving on as a flyer, a base, and a back squat. Okay, we're going to start with basics for flyers. So one of the most important things is that you have core strength to be able to hold yourself up. The bases will be there to hold your feet, but in actuality, if you can hold yourself up, then that shows that you have the strength and you can have the proper technique to get up in the air. Another important aspect for flying is to make sure that you stay tight. It's important for flyers to note that no matter how heavy you think you are a lot less heavy when you are tight and you squeeze your muscles. I've had a lot of flyers who were bigger than other flyers but felt less heavy because of the fact that they were tight and they squeezed all of their muscles, and it just makes it a lot easier for the bases and for the back squat. Another important thing is to never look down, because when you look down, you're going to go down. If you drop your shoulders, you're more likely to go forward. And if you're focusing on the ground instead of focusing up, your shoulders are going down. When you look up, your shoulders are up and they're more accentuated. And it also looks a lot better when a flyer is graceful and looking up instead of looking down and focusing on the ground. Another important thing for flyers is to make sure that you smile. Odds are that the eyes are going to be on you while you're in the air, so it's important to make sure that you look like happy, like you're enjoying what you're doing. So it is important that you smile. Next, we're going to talk about bases. So bases play a pivotal role in a stunt. They are the ones holding the feet of the flyer. So without the bases, it's safe to say that the stunt wouldn't go up at all. So it's important for bases to, the first important rule that I personally think is the most important is always catch your flyer. If you constantly are dropping your flyer and letting your flyer fall, then they're going to not have the trust in you, and a stunt group can get nowhere without trust. So it is important to always catch your flyer. It's much less likely that you will get hurt catching her than she will get hurt falling from the sky. So that's very important. Secondly, it's important that you remember to use your legs. Oftentimes, a lot of bases try to power up the stunt with only their arm strength, and it makes the stunt look a lot less clean and smooth because your arm strength is never going to amount to your leg strength. When you dip for your stunt, it is important to use your legs, and the stunt will go up a lot quicker and a lot smoother. Another really important thing is timing. If your timing is not in sync with the other base, then the stunt will often look sloppy and it will oftentimes not even make it up. So it's important that you look at the other base who you're stunting with. I like to make a joke that you should be staring into the other person's soul. Obviously, it's a joke, but it is important that you are staring at the other base because that will help you guys be in sync, and that will make the stunt get up a lot smoother and cleaner. Next, we're going to be talking about back squats. Okay, so back squats also play a very pivotal role in the stunt. The back squat is the one that is in the back holding ankles and helping the stunt get up. It's important for the back squat to also always catch the flyer. Oftentimes, the flyer will fall to the back, and it's all on the back squat to catch them. This next step is important for back squats and bases. Oftentimes, back squats and bases will try to step out of the stunt and primarily push the stunt up with their arms, as I said, but that often will cause the backs to be strained. So if you do try to back out of a stunt and try to push it up using your back and your arms, you will often strain your back, and that will just make it really difficult to sleep, and every day going to practice will be a struggle. So it's important to make sure you step into your stunt. If you are using your legs to get the stunt up, then you will be able to stay into it, and the bases will be close together, and the back squat will be in the stunt as well. So always remember not to use your back and primarily use your arms. So it is important to make sure you use your legs, bases and back squats. Also, we will be going over some basic formations that cheerleaders will encounter. So if you are doing sideline cheer, the lines you will be put in, it is important to know, coaches will often refer to this formation. Okay, so this area right here, these gaps, these are windows. If you are regularly warming up at your practices, even if you are on comp team, your coach will most likely tell you to get into windows for your stretches, for your warm-ups, for your conditioning. So the space in between, those are the windows. So each person will have a window. So for sideline cheer, these are the lines you'll most likely be in. You'll have your windows, and then most likely in comp cheer, they'll have that sometimes for when you're doing the cheer in your competition. The next formation we have is a pyramid. Oftentimes when non-cheerleaders think of pyramids, they think of the girls standing on other girls' backs, often seen in cheer movies. That is, however, not an accurate portrayal of this formation. This is oftentimes used in comp routines, also in dances. It can be used in competitive cheer or in sideline cheer. So as you'll see, the X's represent people, and each X is, the outside is a V, there's an inside V. So here is the outside V. And then we have our inside V. And then we have our 3 right here. So it can get larger. It depends on the team that you have, the size of your team. But this is an accurate representation of a pyramid. It can be used for cheers, dances, anything really. It's a nice visual for everyone to be seen through the crowd. It's really nice with an aerial view. So this will often be used in routines. So oftentimes when you get your routines for competition, your choreographer will make your formations. Your formations are based off of your routine and the stunts that you are put in and moving throughout your routine. So most of the time you'll have your stunt group, and then from there you'll move to the next formation. It's important to remember when you move to new formations to always walk clean. So let's say that this person had to go all the way over here, and there is no way that they could switch with someone else, and this person needed to get through all of these people. It is important that you remember to keep your arms by your side. Never flail your arms around, as you might be able to hit someone. And also, do not run. It's important to walk quickly. If you need to skip, that's all right as well. But do not run, because you will look hectic and everyone will have their eyes on you, and it will look like the routine is rushed. Also, it's important to make sure that you keep your body facing the crowd. You never want to turn your back to the crowd. Okay, so that concludes our video today on cheerleaders. It's important to remember to always stay hydrated and to always keep a smile on your face. At the end of the day, you're there to have fun and you're there to make sure that everyone is spirited along with you. So make sure to be spirited and to show your support towards your team. Thank you for coming, and if you have any questions, you can email me and I will try to get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you. Have a nice day.